Vexation. Here's the mark of good storytelling, my friends. It makes you think beyond the story itself. And Tanks for the Memories did that. It got my mind going in high gear. Go, Horatio, go! Hey, I'm not paying you to take breaks. Okay, here's the deal. I, like many others, see this episode as a way of talking about the grieving process without actually having a character die off. But I'm also aware that many fans aren't looking for a thesis on death and the grieving process. That some want to enjoy an eccentric episode and leave it at that. So here's my compromise. I'm going to go through this episode as normal without getting into any of the heavy stuff, but I'll include a link to a supplement video at the end, also posted in the description. Okay? Okay. Let's do this. Hop to, Horatio. Yeah, what's a new idea? Loafy. We begin with Rainbow getting hyped for winter and learning that Cloudsdale, the Center for All Weather in Equestria, is in essence a mobile city? Oh. And ponies are actively engaged in the running of the leaves. Sans any main 6 this time around. Ah well, as long as Rainbow's not pummeling Applejack and vice versa. Tank's less than thrilled, which doesn't fly with Rainbow.
Our first winter together!
Way back at the start of Season 4, when I operated within a black void, I marveled that it seemed to have only been 1 year in the show's time period. All those adventures, all those near-death catastrophes, all those picnics happened over the course of just 1 year. And this episode just makes me more certain. How these ponies don't suffer more mental breakdowns, I shall never know. Anyway, Rainbow takes Tank in for a checkup to the one medical expert other than the actual town veterinarian. I mean, I'm a Fluttershy fan, but we know there's a vet in town. Why isn't Rainbow scheduling an appointment with her? I wonder how Fluttershy and the vet get along. Now kiss! It's kind of cute seeing Rainbow bordering on panic as Tank lies there. Miss Too Cool for Caring just can't hide her affections.
He's just going to hibernate. You do realize he's not a bear, right?
Fun fact, I had no idea tortoises hibernated either, and finding out about this made me read up on it. Kudos for the unintentional education, but I really can't see how this would benefit me unless I appeared on Jeopardy. What is a tortoise preparing to hibernate?
Did you record a voiceover for this?
Nope, I'm just no good at animating lip flap. Rainbow takes this information rather poorly.
Where are you going? To get a second opinion from a real reptile expert.
And that second opinion is Spike, who has his own room now. Good on the little guy. I guess if he got a new bed, then it follows he'd have to get a new room. But when I saw him carrying those blankets, I figured he'd still be camping out in the basket. But now he has a little more individuality. He's coming off better than Rainbow, who's so far in denial that, well...
Don't say that word!
Welcome to You Bet My Life. Say the secret word and the duck comes down. So, what's your name there, Curlicue?
I'm Pinkie Pie.
Well, Pinkie, you're a very pretty pony.
Thanks!
I wasn't a pretty pony at your age. Wasn't a pretty pony at any age. Okay, Pinkie, goal here is to say a word. It's not a common word.
Which one? Hokey Smokes, Queen Mimi, Black Snooty, Pickle Barrel Kumquat, Pickle Barrel Kumquat, Pickle Barrel Kumquat, Chitty Chitty Cat.
You, gonna leave some oxygen for the rest of us?
Snuggly, Pluggly, Tanky, Hibernate.
Well, that round was the shortest of my, oh, sweet Celestia. I haven't seen a face that scary since I looked in a mirror.
I'll just have to stop winter!
There is logic in what...
No, there isn't. And I know you folks want me to make a Grinch reference for this face because, you know, it's pretty dang obvious. But I like to go more obscure.
I'm scheming. This is my scheming face. First I raise this eyebrow, and then... back off!
And speaking of references...
Over by Clear Skies.
But there's clear skies everywhere. Yo, clear skies right here. But there's clear skies over there too. That's open skies.
What's the name of that group playing on stage?
Who?
The name of the group.
Who?
The group on stage.
Who?
The group playing on stage.
Who?
You're starting to sound like an owl, Skippy.
I said I'll need the first name of the head of the PLO.
Yes, sir.
Jim, it's nice of you to be polite, but what is his name?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then tell me who's playing left field.
Who is playing first?
Stay out of the infield!
Don't mention any names out here.
I want to know what's the fella's name in left field.
What is on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who is on first?
I don't know. Third base.
The classics are eternal! The weird thing is that Rainbow knows what she's doing is wrong, but she's doing it anyway. And that's a big part of Rainbow's character. Twilight's the one who follows a rule because it is a rule and has a hard time acting independently. Rainbow's at the opposite end of the spectrum, following rules that make sense to her but not hesitating to break them if something she values is at stake. It's part of what makes her decisive and fast acting, but it also leaves her more vulnerable to making mistakes, as we're about to see. Since Rainbow can't sabotage Winter on a local level, she's going to wipe it out at the source. And can I say, for a mobile production plant in the center of equestrian weather production, Cloudsdale has horrific security.
With no water, they can't make clouds or snow.
You mean the water that you led Ponyville in gathering and was one of the biggest personal triumphs in Fluttershy's life? Dash, I'm begging you, think for half a second.
Oopsie. Looks like these were a little loose.
Okay, fandom, nobody tell Fluttershy anything. Of course, things are going wrong for Rainbow, and I can't feel terribly sorry due to the fact that she, well, just committed industrial sabotage and gave rise to a pop culture reference you wouldn't expect in a kid's cartoon.
Winter is coming.
Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage.
There's a brave men knocking at our door.
Peter.
Let's go kill them.
I know Tyrion isn't the source of Winter is coming, but it's Peter freaking Dinklage. So Winter gets delivered in record time and with thankfully no loss of life. And the biggest criticism for this episode is that Rainbow suffers no consequence for her mistake. But I will point out that Applejack poisoned the town, Twilight brainwashed the whole of Ponyville, Spike smashed the place to pieces and bewitched Rarity, who in turn endangered lives, and Fluttershy unleashed a swarm parasprites. Twice. None of these characters received punishment or suffered consequence for their actions. Does that let this episode off the hook? No, but it's a consistent issue with the show and not just one episode. And how weird is it that the one pony who hasn't harmed the town is the one who's most interested in ballistics? That's why, for various roles in this episode, Pinkie wins today's title of the best pony.
Knock, knock.
Although it'd be cool if you'd stop breaking walls, Pinkie, metaphysical or otherwise. But if you're still hung up that Dash didn't get arrested or punished, like having to rebuild the weather machines, allow me to offer an idea. What if there was a pony in Ponyville who looked an awful lot like Rainbow Dash but had none of the likability? And what if that pony happened to be rude towards a shy Pegasus?
Whatever.
And what might happen if a certain fan, who may or may not have issues, decided to enact a little karma? What if an enthusiastic but obnoxious officer made the arrest of the decade, Rainbow Dash's evil twin cousin, twice removed, who tried to frame her doppelganger for Cloudsdale's misfortune, who is now serving 20 to life? That's what I call a not right in the head canon. And the moral of the story is, don't be mean to Fluttershy. And speaking of that kind, gentle mare, surely she can talk Rainbow through this difficult period.
Rainbow Dash, your winter is going to be petless.
What? I can't... What?
We're sorry. Your idiot host mind has crashed. Please wait while we reboot with cuteness.
So cute. Apparently Fluttershy took that Breezy's lesson to heart. But the crying seems contagious as Fluttershy joins in. And apparently seeing Fluttershy cry is more heartbreaking than Rainbow's tears, so Pinkie and Rarity join in. And suddenly I don't feel so bad about ranking my favorites amongst the main six since they do it themselves.
Applejack cries on the inside, Twilight!
It's true.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious yet tragic. Oh, I'm gonna start bawling too. No, I'm professional and mentally unbalanced. Just ask Rainbow's cousin twice removed.
Whatever.
Point is, Rainbow is finally able to get over her issues and accepts the fact that she's going to have to let Tank hibernate. So while ponies get in the winter spirit and Brony speculate on Scootaloo's possible father, and Spike shows what he'll be doing next winter wrap-up, Rainbow bids Tank a safe rest, even offering him a bedtime story, which is pretty heartwarming. This episode can mean different things depending on how much you want to invest in it. If we keep it to the core events, it's an experience in extremes. Rainbow's reactions are enjoyable in their absurdity, and the episode offers both character humor and comedy bits. There's even some world building and character development for Fluttershy and Applejack. The downside is that Rainbow once again plays the role of the selfish pony whose actions seem to harm the world around her. In the end, she's upset at a few months' inconvenience and not much else. Which is not to say she's out of character. A good character has strengths and weaknesses, and the goal isn't that the audience like her unconditionally, but that she have enough positive traits to overshadow the negative. Case in point, Rainbow, you've been quite helpful to me, while your sabotage had everyone's attention. I was paying a visit to the Cloudsdale archives. They were locked behind a vault door of pure mithril, only to be opened by the princesses themselves. Which means jack squat when your walls are made out of clouds. Seriously, Pegasus security stinks. I managed to swipe the blueprints for how Cloudsdale remains mobile. Castle Quill is going to be a mobile fortress, and you and Tank can come visit when it's done, provided you can pay the entrance fee. Booyah! 2 down, 4 to go. This episode does take on a different meaning if you want to view it as an analogy for the grieving process that comes with losing a loved one. And if you'd like to hear my thoughts on that, you can hit up the link here or in the description. I'm Silver Quill. Thanks for watching.
When